What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today we're up on Lake Guntersville. Gonna do a little bass fishing. Gonna work on a couple of baits that I need to develop a little confidence in, and maybe depending on this wind, it's pretty windy, I'm hoping to throw a jig in some places. But stick around. We're fishing to head back in the back, maybe get out a little bit of this main wind, and I'll see you when I get back there. Hang around, we're going fishing. Worth of fishing. I have managed one little spot on a crankbait. I had no intention of actually throwing a crankbait today, but I wore my chatterbait out for at least an hour, covered a ton of water, switched to a spinnerbait. They wouldn't touch it. This pocket, the back of this pocket is just eat up with threadfin, and that's what the bass are eating, the threadfin. They don't seem to want anything that I've got, so I'm gonna go back to cranking, and hopefully I get another one to show you, maybe a little bigger. Wish me luck. Got him. Uh-oh. That's number 2 of my little crankbait. I barely got him, I believe. One hook. Let me get my bait out of the way. He's a little bigger than my little spot I just caught, but man, it took me over 2 hours to figure out what they'll hit. There is so much freaking bait in this pocket, it is unreal. There's probably 2 tons of shad in here, all yay big, and they are just, they're on every end of every tree, looks like. That fish had just swirled in a ball of shad, and I put it right in there, and man, he hit it pretty quick. But the little spot and the little largemouth is the only 2 bites for the whole day so far. And I got started. Oh man, I love this little bait. It's a little bomber. I don't remember the size, but there she is. Little orange dot, little orange on the belly, like a sexy shad top kind of. But man, this little old bait comes off of the wood and stuff. It deflects off real well. It's a really cool little bait. I've just got shad all around me. They're schooled up over here. They're schooled up out here off these trees. Maybe we'll grab us another one. Who knows? Still trying to get a hold of that elusive Guntersville largemouth. Most of the time when I come up here, I at least get one pretty good fish. you do get a lot of grass these days. Something you got to deal with. Alright, I'm going to have to get back in position, get off the end of these trees, and go at it again. So maybe, fingers crossed. Alright guys, they're getting a little bigger. That's number 3, little bomber crankbait. I had a couple swipe on a fluke. Didn't grab it, but they swiped at it. It's just like the bite has gotten better toward the evening. I've been here about 3.5 hours total, and got 3 fish in the boat. That's way better than a 0, which I was beginning to think I was going to have for the day. And then, I don't know, the wind has died back up in here. I can see out on the main part of the lake. It's not as strong as it was. But that really, I don't know that that's played into me getting bites or not. I know, I really think the size of the crankbait matches closer to what they're eating. So I think that is, the baits I was using this morning earlier were a little bigger, and I believe this one matches just a little bit better. Anyway, I have thrown the chatterbait, the spinner bait. Don't know who that was, but they may have known me. They blew the horn at me. Let's see, chatterbait, spinnerbait. I have flipped a jig in logs. Nothing, not a bite, nothing until the first bite on the little crankbait. These shad are just stacked and packed up in this this creek, all the way to the back to where you can't go any further. And I was shocked that I fished it so long earlier in the day with this much bait and bass actually hitting them. They wouldn't hit any of the bigger baits. They just would not touch it. It's until I scaled down is when I got my first bite and got my first fish. Still hadn't got on a big fish today. Day's not over, but the big fish are. Now I've seen earlier in the day, I saw 2 3 to 4 pounders run through these schools and just annihilate those little shad. That's why I've stayed in here all day. I know there's some fish in here, and I just couldn't leave it. I had plans on running and covering a lot of water, and I just know there's fish in here, and I was just hoping to get one of those good ones before I got out of here. And I'm just sort of committed now to seeing what I can produce out of this one pocket. But the little bomber, Bandit makes a crankbait similar to that. I don't have many of the small crankbaits like I used to have. I used to have a whole 2 boxes of them, and some criminal stole them at a gas station one time, and I haven't replaced them all yet, so I don't have a real good selection of the small baits anymore. Sometimes you forget to replace things when you get shed of them, and I did in that case, and now I wish I had several more. Oh my God, if you could see that on that camera behind me, they're just wearing it out. Let's see if I can ease around without scaring them. They are off the ends of the trees. They're not up on the bank. They're out in 7, 8, 9 feet of water off the ends of these trees up in this pocket. And those shad are just hanging tight to the wood. And once those bass get in there and feed on them for a minute, they'll relocate them. You'll see them move around, and but once they come down a bank and get pushed and they get close to another tree, they stop on it. I've watched them all day, and that's exactly what these bait fish are doing. They're trying to stay grouped up in the tree limbs. I guess they feel safer, but man, it would be really interesting to know how many pounds of bait fish are in this one pocket. Everywhere I look on trees, there's a school. It's pretty cool to watch them. Unfortunately, you'll be watching down the bank when a big one comes up, and he'll come there's one, come completely out of the water, and oh, that's not what I was looking for. But I've watched these fish all day feed. How about that one? They gotta eat too. All right, buddy, you go back. I've seen bass in here that could have just swallowed him whole jumping this morning. Thought I was gonna have me a good one. Alright guys, it has been a beautiful day. Every day I think when you're out on the water is a beautiful day. I decided to wind it up by anchoring out over here and fishing a little rip-rap. And about the second cast, I nearly got my rod taken out of my hand. I've thrown jig all morning or early in the day. They wouldn't touch it. I try to end the day and I get bit. Go figure. So I thought I'd make a few more casts. My goal for the day was to come out and basically throw a chatterbait all day, get used to how it feels. I've really never used a chatterbait much. Most of the situations calls for a chatterbait. I've always thrown a spinnerbait. So I'm a little new to the whole bladed jig scene, and so I threw for about an hour and a half, pretty solid, slowing down, speeding up, bumping wood, and just never could get a bite on it. I know there'll be days that'll be completely different, so I'm gonna keep one tied on the rest of fall probably, and keep working it until I can build my confidence up in it. I've got a couple more baits or techniques that I want to build confidence with as well. One is the drop shot, fishing it in deep water, and by deep water I mean, for me, anything say over 10 or 15 feet. I've used a drop shot for quite a while in shallow water situations. I use it to basically, with a small leader, to keep that little bait right off the bottom, and it has really worked for me. But I need to learn and get confident with some deeper water. So I think I said it in my last video that I was going to work on that this winter, and it's a good time to work on techniques like that. Some of our days, we just know when we come out, they're probably going to be slow days. and that's when the drop shot bait will be really good. And you know, you just gotta, to get confident in a bait, you have to work it and work it and work it, and eventually it'll just become another tool in the toolbox. Throwing a jig, throwing a Texas rig worm, I've done that stuff bottom bouncing all my life. Some of the newer techniques, I guess I've been stubborn, and it's time to learn, and you don't learn if you don't do them. So, well guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. This video won't be as long as the other ones. I didn't shoot as much today, unless I decide to add something later at home. But fall fishing can be hit or miss. To me, it was a good day. I got 3 or 4 fish. I think I got 3 on camera. So I enjoyed a good day out on the water. That's what it's all about. Wasn't in a tournament, so there's no pressure. I would have liked to have shown a big fish. Usually when I come out to Guntersville, I usually get at least 1 good fish. Just keepers for today. So it's been a pretty good day. And then I got a jig bite, so now I'm questioning what I did all day. Maybe I should have fished the rocks. Anyway, I'm planning on coming back next week, and I'll check the riprap out next week and see if there's any fish holding on them before I move on, because Lord knows Guntersville's got a lot of riprap. But anyway, you guys, I appreciate you. If you hadn't already subscribed to the channel, please do. Hit the like button, share it with your friends. It helps me in the YouTube algorithm, and the more likes, the more they will share it themselves, which will grow my channel. That's the goal. Spread the good sport of fishing a little further and grow the channel at the same time. Just seems like a win-win situation. Well guys, the sun's getting low. It's in my face right now, but it won't be in about 30 minutes. So I'm fishing to pack her in. And you guys, if you see me out on the water, hey, come by. My bright yellow boat's easy to find. Come by and say hi. It does not bother me. Matter of fact, I spend a lot of time out talking to people, and that's all fine and good. That's what I'm out here for. Anyway, you guys stay safe. I'll see you out on the water. I'm Lowell Henderson. This is Simply Fishing, and we'll see you next week.